back to Avatar: The Last Airbender. As I said in the first video, I thought that first episode was a solid start. I'm definitely curious about where it's gonna go. Oh, it's the same music cue from the show too.
You kill someone?
Sokka.
Before it happens again.
Before I met him, I couldn't bend enough water to fill a thimble. And now look what I can do. And that's after a single day.
That's a good point. Is it Momo? It's Momo.
Hey, that's our food.
Oh, it's the waterbending scroll already?
My dear Katara, this scroll has been passed down among the waterbenders of our tribe for generations.
Yeah, I like that change. I feel like it actually makes a lot of sense that there would have been a waterbending scroll that they might have hidden at the southern water tribe.
Goodbye, Gyatso. I'm sorry.
Aw, poor kid. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of this intro either, just because I feel like it's very plain.
You want to join us, Momo?
Momo?
Yes,
He
Momo.
looks like a Momo.
What's it called? Quail pole egg. Quail pole egg. Very good for
Vitality?
vitality. You must use your tact, your empathy. But most importantly, you need to have sticky rice.
God. Okay, I'm digging Iroh a bit more now. This feels very Uncle Iroh to me.
Should you just go in there?
Well, I guess he's gonna.
Hey!
Ah, cool. The Kyoshi Warriors.
He's the Avatar!
Ridiculous. There would have been signs if he was the Avatar.
That looks like a sign to me.
I think that might be a sign.
Yeah, for real.
All I want is to learn more about Avatar Kyoshi. Isn't that what this place
Last time I
is
saw
about?
her, she was a
Keeping our memory alive?
Romulan.
Maybe I could bring a place I knew. A world where people were happier back.
That's pretty convincing. Come on.
I'm not too young. I just haven't seen the world.
Not yet.
I trust that you will respect the limits of our generosity.
Okay, 2 days. Got it. Thank you.
I get it. I know why you wanted us off your island. I may not physically be there, but still. That is,
Sokka.
I have to save the world. Sorry, how does it
Nice.
go again? I'm protecting Aang, so I'm protecting
How does it go again?
Hey, the point is, we have a lot of time.
I love this Sokka.
Go
This
for
is
it,
a very
right?
good Sokka.
That is why I'm not just a warrior. I'm a Kyoshi warrior.
Damn right.
They're delicious, grilled with a touch of lemon.
I feel like
see.
it's
Anything
a
I
little
can do
obvious
to
that's a
help?
lie, but
If you wouldn't mind giving me until the morning,
Commander,
Zhao,
yeah,
Commander.
it's Zhao.
at your service.
Zuko's like, fuck this, I'm out. Okay, that's pretty cool, actually.
Amazing! You're natural.
Avoiding practice doesn't mean you'll avoid the responsibility.
She got you there.
Gyatso used to be the one who trained me.
Oh.
Never really trained with anyone else.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you take your timing. You don't really have much time to take, but you take it anyways.
Or he could just...
Not home cooking, but
That actually looks really good. So many sweets. Momo. I really wish he would do the little marble trick where he like spins the two around.
That's his real power. Connection.
And the air scooter.
That's how he's gonna be the Avatar.
And the sooner he and his friends are off our island, the better.
I think you need to calm all the way down. Like, yes, they attract trouble, and yes, trouble is certainly coming, but like, just relax, man. Just chill out. Trusty boomerang.
I could run you through the basics if you want.
Oh, yes, please do. Oh, come on, now you're just showing off.
Wow. Us Southern Water Tribe warriors are known more for our hand-to-hand fighting anyway.
He's like, oh, shit. She's fucking down.
Now?
Let's go. You know you're gonna get your ass kicked. Just get it over with. He just leaves. Oh, you're coming on a little too strong, Suki. It's okay. It's...
Hired as a house girl for the richest family on the island. She was quiet and kind. No one had a clue she'd become the Avatar.
Really? I actually didn't know that. I never read the
from this?
Kyoshi books.
Only justice will bring peace.
I mean, you can never be that Aang. I mean, Kyoshi was like boss bitch level times a million. But you're pretty cool too.
Back home.
Come on, Sokka. Oh, Sokka's falling in love so hard. It's like, who is this badass girl?
Aang?
Well, that seemed to work.
Hey,
Damn.
it's about time. There's a lot you don't know.
Yeah, thank you, Kyoshi. Can't believe we're seeing Avatar Kyoshi so soon.
We're at top speed.
I think I'm getting the hang of it.
What matters is not the power inside. It's the will and desire. The heart.
That's very cute. Oh, come on. Just let them have their moment.
You're here too.
We have to go.
Why? What's happening?
Aang, we need to
People
come
always
back
showing
now.
up at the worst
Where are
time
you?
when he's in his avatar state.
Dimensions to be.
And so, where there is one avatar, there may be another.
Smart.
Yes, I've heard Kyoshi Island has had an admirable history of staying, shall we say, insignificant. Which is
Dick.
why there's been no need.
Ouch. What the hell? She has like fucking super strength. Jesus Christ.
Being the Avatar means putting your duties above all else, even your life.
Relax, Kyoshi. He's 12.
I was like you once. Tragedy awaits the North, and unless you do something about it, another race of benders will be wiped out just as the air nomads were.
A mighty, merciless warrior.
I mean, that's Kyoshi for you. She don't fuck around. You two sure work well together. Nice job, Sokka.
Both sides will fight harder because the Avatar has returned. Hope does not come without a cost.
You.
Some harsh truths.
One way or another. What happens to you is your choice.
Oh, interesting.
Impossible.
This definitely did not happen in the original, but I kind of like this. Again, Avatar Kyoshi's just boss as hell. And you guys are fucked now. Okay, that's pretty sick. That was pretty dope.
Aang!
Never happened in the original, but I liked it. That was pretty cool.
A reason to believe again. In our village, in ourselves.
Nice and wholesome.
Thank you, Sokka,
For what?
for bringing the world to me.
That's so fucking cute. Oh, nice. Again, they're not supposed to get their kiss until much, much later.
So this means you don't want to go home anymore?
I'll let you guys have all the fun.
What else did she tell you?
We need to get to the Northern Water Tribe because something terrible is going to
That's
happen there.
different.
Something only I can stop.
I feel like I walked into that one.
You did.
Yoshi, I had no idea the Avatar would be there.
Oh,
Your
yes,
Highness
of course, yes.
had been more forthcoming earlier, we might have avoided this misunderstanding. I hope we...
Don't tell anyone
Ah,
about the Avatar.
you just gave him so much fuel for
No one
his
else can help.
fire.
There was nothing more important than knowing where to place my loyalties. To your supreme eminence.
Man, he's just the
the
worst.
great flame of the world.
The Avatar has returned.
Oh dear. All right. I think I like that second episode better than the first, actually. Initial thoughts are I enjoyed that. I thought that was better than the first episode. Was pretty liberal in the amount of changes it was going for. But again, I actually really appreciate the changes. Seeing new stuff that didn't happen in the original just makes this feel more worthwhile. And some of the changes were pretty good ones. There were some that seemed a little weird, but we'll get into that. Again, just in general, off of an initial viewing, I liked it. Definitely enjoying where the show is going. But just in general, I really like the characterization of Zuko in this show. And Iroh as well. The first episode, he didn't really win me over, but with this second one, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Uncle Iroh, right? He makes a pretty good Iroh. I also like the change that Katara gets the waterbending scroll here from Grand instead of from the pirates later on. Does make me sad though, just because I'm like, oh, we're probably not going to get the pirates. The scene right after of them finding Momo was very cute. I'm happy that Momo's in the show. The scene right after that of Aang saying goodbye to Gyatso was actually very sad. I wasn't expecting them to return to that level of emotion again so quickly. But it worked pretty well. And I have to say, I think the acting from Aang was actually pretty good. They then get Momo to join in with them, and I did really like the line of Sokka being like, I bet you taste like chicken. Again, cutting out all the stuff where he literally tries to initially catch and eat Momo and having the little like minor rivalry. They still get to have some of the fun with that, but just in a quick, concise little like 30-second scene. They then go to the port where they initially meet Zhao in the original as well as here. And I do think the guy they picked for Zhao is doing a good job with the character. I like his shadiness. But we pick up with the main gang going over to Kyoshi Island and seeing the big statue of Kyoshi. A lot of this is just kind of reworked from the original because they do arrive on Kyoshi Island. It seems like no one's around. They go up to the shrine of Kyoshi, which is not nearly as massive as it is here. And then they get attacked by the Kyoshi warriors. Oh wait, no, I'm getting it wrong actually. I forgot. They went here to ride the koi fish, which they do, and then they get attacked while they're like on the beach and then taken to the statue. Again, just kind of condensing it down, making sure they can tell the whole story and get to the important stuff without wasting too much time. I'm a little sad we didn't get Aang riding the koi fish though. Also no Unagi. I just realized that. They're not going to have the Unagi show up. Which again, it's fine. It's not really that consequential. But it does lead to a funny line from Suki in the second season. But this is where they start to diverge a pretty decent amount, because we never saw Suki's mother in the original. That's definitely a whole new character that makes me wonder why I never questioned where her parents were in the original. Like, that's just never brought up or mentioned ever. She's just like a fully realized like 15-year-old girl who has no authority. She just is the authority. I don't know why I never questioned that actually. But here we have her mother who is in charge of the village, and she seems a little uptight. She doesn't seem like super great company at first. But again, I like the world building they have with this, where she's like, no, it just like logistically does not make sense for us to let these people stay. They're going to attract attention, which is going to attract danger, the Fire Nation, which it does. So it's all perfectly understandable. And again, I like that it kind of sets up where the world is at right now. Like, they are very much under the thumb of the Fire Nation, which I do feel like at times in the original you didn't really notice. There were significant periods of time where you never saw major Fire Nation influence other than random Fire Nation soldiers who would attack the main group. Watching Sokka stumble over his words talking to Suki was very funny. They then jump to the actual first meeting of Zhao, which again, I like. I like how he plays himself up to be like your friend when you know he's a shady little snake. It's different than the original show. There, he's very much just a domineering presence who revels in like ridiculing Zuko and the like subordinates around him. But I kind of appreciate the more sneaky Zhao. Like, it suits him as a character and what he does throughout the initial show. We then get Suki creeping on Sokka, which was pretty funny. Again, I like how they play the character of Suki here, not just trying to like intimidate or be mean to Sokka or weird or anything like that. She's just genuinely never met someone from outside, and it clearly takes a pretty understandable curiosity. Then you get Katara practicing her waterbending, which I gotta say, the waterbending looks very good. There are slight moments where it kind of loses you, where you're like, yeah, that's definitely fake. But there are some moments where I'm like, that looks very convincing. That looks very good. I was a little sad that Aang didn't start learning his waterbending. It is very early in the show, but considering they're going to have to condense some of the things that happen within the show, I'm like, it seems like a good time for you to, start. But I suppose we're saving that for later. We then get some more Suki Sokka flirting, which again was very cute and very funny, where she's just kind of outshining him in everything combat related, and is clearly into him and trying to be playful, but actually like freaks him out. It was very funny. Then we get Sokka and Suki finally training together. It's obviously very romantically overt, and I can't tell if it's just because I know the characters from the animated show, but I definitely feel the chemistry here. I'm like, yeah, I like it. Normally I don't like when people, fall in love within a single episode, but I thought it was done pretty well here. Then Aang gets to speak to Avatar Kyoshi, which is a very big change. Again, he does not speak to her until much later in the story. That is something that does not occur until the second season. And she's a little bit more abrasive here than she was in the show originally. She always was a little abrasive. Like, again, she is a very no-nonsense, brutal avatar. But I felt like she was a little mean to Aang here. Like, a little unnecessarily cruel. Or like, you ran away. I'm like, he didn't even really run away, man. He literally just went to go fly for a night. And then an unfortunate event happened to him. I also enjoyed the scenes of Iroh telling Zuko kind of throughout this that, I know this is important to you and we're gonna capture him, don't worry, but you need to learn how to be really smart about this. Again, just playing the father figure for him, because Zuko really needs it, man. Like, he's a very sad, angry individual. And then eventually Zhao shows up, which is also a change. Only Zuko shows up in the original animated show. And I feel like I like both ways they do it equally, just in different ways. And Kyoshi seems to give Aang a vision of what's going to happen at the Northern Water Tribe, which, that's weird. It's not really within the Avatar's power set, even with their reincarnations, that they're like able to see the future or anything. So again, I don't hate that, but I think it's weird. I don't really think it was entirely necessary. It seemed like it was basically the way they got everyone to come to the decision, like, okay, we need to go there. Whereas in the original, they were like, well, we need to learn waterbending, and they're the best and pretty much only ones that could teach us, so that's where we're going to go. And I feel like that's a more sound reason than like adding the future vision of what's going to happen. I did really enjoy seeing Sokka and Suki like kicking ass together. That was actually pretty cool. It's always something people question about this universe of benders. You're like, how are regular people going to fit into this? Like, how could they possibly keep up in a fight? And I feel like they did it here in a pretty believable way. I also like that during Katara's first big fight, where she actually goes up against an opponent, she loses. Without a master or any experience, I didn't want them to just have her be automatically really, really badass. And I also like the added little touch of her PTSD coming in, basically reliving the moments where her mom died. And then seeing Avatar Kyoshi was pretty cool. I gotta admit, I really enjoyed this sequence. Again, this is a big change. This does not happen originally. Aang doesn't even go into the Avatar state during this episode in the animated show. He just takes care of business with his airbending. And I gotta say, it was pretty freaking cool to see Avatar Kyoshi go, you know, full on Avatar using all 4 elements to just wreck these people. That was pretty cool. I really like that sequence. And then they take off. There's a slight little change where Suki gives Sokka one of her fans. That didn't happen originally, but I like that. It's a nice little touch. Whether he actually uses it in combat or not, I feel like is kind of irrelevant. It'll just be nice when they do meet again. He's like, I still got it. And if he doesn't, oh, God help him. And I did very much enjoy the final sequence as well, where, again, Zhao's just being a shady little shit, trying to pretend poorly, you know, to be nice to Zuko, and he's like, oh, we'll work together, don't you worry, no one will know about this, and then immediately tells the Fire Lord about it. I'm not a huge fan that they showed the Fire Lord's face. I'm like, come on, man, you're supposed to save that till the very end. There's a lot of things that they've taken from the original, and I wish they would have taken that as well, where it's like, no, yep, you can hear him, but you cannot see his face for a long time, not until we hit season 3. But realistically, if you want to get this actor to play the part, you're gonna have to show his face, so I get it. Overall, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty solid. I actually enjoyed it a lot. Again, there's still a few rough edges to smooth out, but I feel like they smoothed out a majority of them with this. There were far less visual effects shots that were really jarring or pulled me out of it. A couple that didn't look super great, but pretty darn good for the most part. And again, I feel like the pacing was pretty good. I'm actually enjoying the changes they're making from the original source material for the most part, just because it makes the story a little more fresh. I'm not wildly impressed with the acting from everybody, but some people I think are giving a really good performance. The actor for Zuko, the actor for Aang, and honestly the actor for Sokka and Suki as well. I think all 4 of them did very well in this episode. All in all, very much enjoyed it. Again, I liked it more than the first one. Thought it was pretty darn good. And it has me a little more excited for the rest of this season. I have questions, and I definitely want to watch more. So I will see you all for that next one, and that's about it.